Hi, I'm Phil Spokes from Spokes Education, and today I'm going to carry on talking about building a team and thinking about how you present yourself as an agency, even if you're just one person on your own. So I've seen a few things on LinkedIn. I've been asked this question a couple of times myself as well, around, if you're just an individual person, do you present should you ethically present yourself as an agency? And to me, I think it can be a bit of a grey area, but I think there is a way to do it to your benefit, but still, doing it ethically. And this is what we did. So when I was, like I said, getting to that point where, I was taking on bigger projects, and, I wanted to kind of let people know that it wasn't just me doing it, and, I wanted to give them a bit more confidence that there was a bit more team, a bit more skill set, a bit more capacity. What I did was set up the website that had, so as an agency, technically I was the only employee, the only person. But what I did is that, in the last video I talked about, finding like-minded people and other freelancers, other people that can help you, and adding them to my team as well. So, technically they weren't employees, but they were people that were going to be part of my team as and when I needed them. So, it wasn't that I was lying about, having skilled people. They were there, they were available, they were part of my team, but they weren't necessarily employed. I wasn't having to pay them unless a project came in. So I think for me that's an okay way of doing it. Again, I didn't put on there, I didn't lie about anything. I just said this is the team that you will be getting, or that is available to you, which is true. And then when tenders came in, if it asked, then we would say, we are using subcontractors or freelancers, and here's some work we've done previously. So, if you do put extra people on your website, like I said, I think that's okay. And you don't have to worry about, deceiving anyone. Like I said, it's not saying you should lie to anyone. You should be very honest about your team and what that entails. But you can give them confidence in other ways. Like I said, you've worked with them before, you've done this, they're available, they're ready, they're skilled, and some people it might be a problem too. The bigger contracts now that we go for, they want to see a certain number of employees, they want to see a certain turnover, and there's not a lot of way around that. So that comes over time that you can start to go for those bigger ones, but there are always those kind of contracts where people want that kind of dynamic team, or they want that kind of responsiveness, they want that kind of price offer, which again you can do at this point because you've not got all the overheads that you will have as a full agency. So I think there's lots of business out there to be won in that realm. And like I said, as you grow over time, then you start to kind of worry about those other things. So for me, don't worry about that. You can do that as long as you've got a team, as long as you can back it up. Don't start putting people on there and saying I've got this person and that person in part of my team if you know that they're not available and you're not going to use them. But there's lots of organisations out there that do that. Lots of kind of collaboratives that kind of work, not necessarily as part of that organisation, but work as their kind of own entities, but come together for projects. And then over time, like I said, if you then start to take people on and build a team, then that kind of sorts itself out. I was always when I first started kind of scrambling, kind of thinking, the team looks pretty small and I want to kind of pad that out. And now, kind of realize if I'm, now we're kind of at the point where we're actually kind of employing small agencies, and I'm not worried. I'm not worried if there's one person or if there's three people, as long as they can demonstrate that they've done the job. Then that's all that matters to me. So I think that's the way to do it. And like I said, over time, like I say, when that team builds and you kind of can add more people, then great. And now what we do now is, everyone on our website is everyone that's in our full-time team. So, or part-time staff as well. So they're all kind of part of Spokes Education. There's no one now on our website, because I don't feel we need to do that, because I feel that we've got a big enough team and we've got a diverse enough team and we've got a skilled enough team that we don't need to pad that out to kind of sell ourselves and sell kind of our services. But quite often when we do put tenders together, we still add new members of team. And again, we say they're freelance, or we're bringing these into the team temporarily. And again, that has worked for us on numerous occasions. I think it's worth noting as well. So when I was the only, technically the only employee of Spokes Education, I went for a a tender, and this was with in collaboration. So my brother Mark was working just on a freelance basis initially because he was doing bits and pieces rather than working full time. He was part of our team, and I also then collaborated with a video animation company, who were really, really good, and I've worked with before. And we put together a bid based on I can't remember if it was on through Spokes Education with a subcontractor or through them with Spokes Education subcontractor. I can't remember. But basically it was a team of 5 people from 2 different organisations. Well, in fact, 4 people from 2 different organisations, plus a freelancer. Plus I think I added somebody else who would have worked on the project as well, who was a freelancer. And this was for a university in London. The contract was worth £360,000 and we got to the final 2. So, and again, we didn't deceive them. We didn't, we were very upfront about how we worked. So it's definitely possible that you can win business and you can get to that point. That project actually got pulled. So I'll never know if we would have won it. I don't know if we would have, probably not. But to get to that point of getting down to that final 2, going and presenting in front of, I think 10 people sat in that room, it was pretty daunting from going, from nothing through to that. But it's out there, and people are willing to take the chance on the right people if you're presenting yourself in the right way. And like I said, we'll talk about that more on future videos about how to kind of present yourself as an agency, your identity, as well as kind of looking at taking opportunities and the kind of things you should be putting in your tenders. So yeah, I think for now, like I said, don't worry about it. Start to build your team from the earlier video that we did. Start to think about those people, and if they're happy to be part of that, start to build that website. You can kind of reciprocate. They can be on your website, you can be on their website, and build that team. And like I said, you can help to build your experience together as well. So yeah, I think that's it for now. We'll do more perhaps on team later, and I'll go more into over time thinking about how that team develops and the kind of things you should be looking for once you start to get to that point where you're taking full-time staff on. But for now, thanks very much and see you again.